Hey everyone, welcome back. It's another video. So Piers Morgan, as we know, recently had Tim Pool on his podcast as well as Gad Sad. I've made a reaction video already with Tim Pool when he was on Piers Morgan, ripping Piers Morgan a new one in response to his lies about Tommy Robinson. And well, Tim, not long after that, decided to put out his own video, which at the time that I recorded this had over 10 million views, and for damn good reason, because Tim quite literally slams Piers Morgan and anyone else that goes against Tommy Robinson. Because according to Piers and so many others like Keir Starmer and Nigel Farage, he's done the wrong thing. Even though if you look at the actual evidence, Tommy has done nothing wrong. To me, when I see what's happened to Tommy, everything's been weaponized against him because he's been exposing a lot of corruption. And when lots of people in positions of power, I'll have you know, they don't have the gall or the balls to actually expose what Tommy Robinson is exposing, of course they want to shut him up because he is telling the truth. He is sharing the stories of victims. And people like Piers Morgan that lie about Tommy Robinson, and I've made quite a few videos about that already, because Tommy needs to be freed. This whole thing of contempt of court and Tommy Robinson admitting contempt of court and all that other nonsense, yeah, because it's a trumped up charge. Yeah, he admitted to contempt of court and he handed himself in because, mate, seriously, a judge, a prosecutor, I should say, that's Labor made the charge. So what else is Tommy going to do? He was denying that he did anything wrong, and I believe he did nothing wrong. But the Labor prosecution decided to, or the Labor judge, I should say, decided to make this all political. Shut Tommy Robinson up. And is it any wonder not long after that that you had Labor vote down an inquiry into the grooming gangs? So you have people like Tim Pool that I actually really respect that sees what's happened. And he can see men like Tommy Robinson is going, I don't know, I don't care what Tommy has done in his past. It does not matter. What's Tommy done in his past actually, to be honest with you all, once again, weaponized against Tommy. He's done nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. But going to Piers, he's a football hooligan. He's done the wrong thing. But people like Jordan Peterson, Douglas Murray, Tim Pool, Gad Sad, Michaela Peterson, Tammy Peterson, many people are all coming to Tommy's side and saying, we can see past the lies of Piers Morgan and many others. We can see it. So have a watch of Tim Pool rip Piers Morgan and many others to go against Tommy Robinson, a new one. It is brilliant.
So it comes back to this. If Piers or anybody else wants to insult Tommy, my response is, so what? I don't know. I don't care. Explain to me why the one guy that was leading rallies to call out the systemic rape of children was getting locked up and silenced and put in jail. Why weren't you doing it? Why wasn't the UK government doing it? Why weren't the cops doing it? Why was it Tommy Robinson? Oh, he's a con artist? Well, whoop-de-freaking-do. At least we had one con artist, according to you, willing to speak up and inform someone like me. So, I'll say it again. I like Piers. I really do. I've been on the show several times. I look forward to going on again. And maybe he just doesn't understand. Maybe he's wrong. Maybe it's intentional. I don't know. But don't you get it? This is why I don't believe you. The things they were doing to these children, man. These transcripts that came out. They fill me with a rage I have never experienced. The horrors. Man, there's so much dirty stuff in this world. And you say Tommy's a con artist. Fine. Whatever. At least I can thank the con artist for letting me know. Because I would not have known about this if it were not for him.
Paul hit the nail on the head, my friends. Why wasn't Piers Morgan and so many other people exposing? Why weren't they telling the broader public? Why weren't they going to the victims and saying, I will tell your story? I will expose the corruption. Why weren't they doing that? No, instead, they actually attacked the man that is exposing the corruption and exposing all these people that are trying to cover it up. It amazes me. It really amazes me how you've got these people that will say the things that they're saying about Tommy Robinson and yet in the same breath do nothing. Do nothing to help these victims. Absolutely nothing. And is it any wonder why they're going after Tommy Robinson, who they say is all these things, which he's not? At least Tommy had the balls and the decency to do the right thing, and yet you guys are just lying through the skin of your teeth about everything that he's done. And so what? If he did do any of these things, so what? At least he's still got the balls to expose the corruption. I hate corruption. I hate liars. I'm sick of it. There's, like Tim said, and I totally agree with him, there is a lot of dirty stuff and a lot of dirty people, a lot of evil people in this world. And the ones that choose to remain silent and silence the ones that choose to speak up are horrendous. They're just as evil. Why is Tommy Robinson in solitary confinement for 18 months? Ask yourself that question. Piers Morgan does not know. Whether it's out of hate, spite, arrogance, I don't know. Why is he so against him? Oh, he's a football hooligan. So what? Oh, he's made a documentary called Silence that actually has a go at Piers Morgan, and I wonder why that is. Because he's remained silent for years on this matter. Keir Starmer, once again, his government voting against an inquiry. 364 Labor MPs voting against a national inquiry into the grooming gangs. What does that tell you? And yet Tommy Robinson is the one rotting away in solitary confinement while these sickos get away. Ask yourself that question. Now, Piers recently said that he would interview Tommy Robinson, and credit where credit is due once he gets out of prison. But I personally don't see that even happening. To be honest with you, I don't. If it does happen, let Tommy also film. Let it be at least 4 weeks after, because you don't want to be interviewed straight after you've gotten out of solitary confinement for 18 months. Your brain would be in shambles, man. They call Tommy a football hooligan. They call him all these things. And yet Tommy, where is he? He's the one serving time for releasing a documentary, and Piers and everybody else are saying that he lied about a Syrian refugee. No, he didn't. He told the truth. The Syrian refugee boy was a menace to society. So who's the one that's lying here? Exactly. Because it ain't Tommy. Because why isn't Piers having any of the victims on? I was only Tommy that did it. He's in prison for contempt of court, not telling the whole story of who made up the trumped up charge. He's led rallies, countless people at those rallies. Countless people support Tommy. Why? The mainstream media hate him because he's exposed the corruption. And anyone that dares expose the corruption in politics or media will end up facing the consequences, and it doesn't end up being good for the ones that have exposed the corruption, unfortunately, because corrupt individuals and officials, they want the truth to be buried because it makes them look bad. They'll be out of a job. They'll be out of their cushy lifestyle. Meanwhile, the real victims are living in squalor and having to deal with the trauma of not just what happened to them, but the fact that there's no justice. So thanks, Tim Pool. I appreciate you, mate. Well done. I'm just as sick of this as you are. Anyway, you guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.